Hello, everybody. Good evening. Rose here. Tonight I'm reacting to Foodie Beauty's video called Some Issues I Have with Girl World's Leader FFG. So, Chantal is back to raging at Frenchie again. No big surprise. Whenever Chantal does something that's completely messed up, she tries to deflect by putting the attention on something else. Uh, Mostly it's French Fry Girl. So everyone, I'm sure, has already seen the react video that I did to Chantal going to a mosque, which she should not have done. She should not have gone there and filmed herself in the mosque. She should not have filmed the mosque, period. She should have just gone there if she wanted to go there and pray and make it a private moment. But she took it upon herself to go inside the mosque, film everything inside, and that was completely messed up. So to deflect away from that, she's going off on French Fry Girl. And so I wanted to go ahead and react to this video because knowing Chantal, she's not going to leave this up. She's going to get rid of it like she always does. You know, she comes off as being big and bad, but she never stands by the things that she says. So let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see and hear everything. Okay, so there's the video. And Chantal, you just went to a mosque, right? And you said that you were getting closer to God, you were getting closer to Allah. I don't think Allah would want you to act this way. I don't think Allah would approve. But let's just see what you got to say.
Hello. So as you can see, I am going.
And yes, she is using that ridiculous low BMI voice. I'm not quite sure why she's using it. I mean, if you're gonna do a video talking about French Fry Girl, why are you talking in such a low voice? Is it because Saul is in bed and you don't want to wake him up doing it? I don't understand what the motivation is that you're gonna do a video like this and then you're gonna do it barely in a whisper.
To be reacting to this creep in pigtails today. This crazy obsessed stalker has been riding my coattails for years.
You know what, Chantal? If you're gonna do a video like this, say what you gotta say with your whole chest. Don't be whispering behind your hand. That makes no sense. You got something to say, do it with your whole chest.
She has amassed a considerable audience based purely on bull. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about.
You know what? You sound jealous when you say that. She has amassed a whole audience, and you amassed a whole audience of feeders and enablers that got behind you and supported you acting toxic on camera. To the point where these feeders were buying you food, buying you clothes. They were the ones in your chat that when you were completely full and you couldn't eat another bite, they were still encouraging you to eat. So you want to talk about toxic audiences? You had one too, Chantal, and you still do. But don't think I have forgotten all about those feeders. No, I haven't. The ones that were encouraging you to eat and eat and eat. And even when you were on the edibles, they were encouraging you to do more and more and more and more to the point where you passed out. So you want to talk about toxic fans and toxic audiences? You got one yourself, ma'am.
About that bull.
And maybe that's what burns you up, Chantal. Maybe that's what makes you angry. The fact that Frenchie has, by the numbers, a smaller channel, but yet she gets greater engagement and she's making more money. And she's making money and she doesn't have to take her clothes off. She doesn't have to stuff herself full of food. She doesn't have to do drugs on camera. She doesn't have to flash the private parts of her body. That's all stuff that you chose to do. Are you mad about that? The fact that you chose to go to those extremes to make money, but Frenchie didn't, and yet she's making more money than you.
Enjoy. Alright, first thing I want to react to, and I just want to start off by saying, no, I'm not a reaction channel. I don't do this usually, and yeah,
You shouldn't do it at all, period, because you suck at it.
I kind of suck at it, but
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm hoping that at least my point will get across, and I hope I don't have to throw any insults or anything, unlike a certain someone, to do it. So I need to react to this most recent live stream of hers. The title is Chantal El is gone, Foodie Beauty is back, and reading facts straight off Wiki Live. Triple react. Oh wow, you're giving people a real treat, aren't you? So, does anyone remember the video that FFG did? It was a
I gotta stop this, y'all, because you know what I'm thinking of right now with her talking in such a low voice. It's giving me high school vibes of you're in class and the person you don't like is also in class somewhere and you want to talk about them, but you don't want them to hear. You don't have the balls to walk up and say what you got to say to their face. No, you're going to talk behind your hand with somebody because you got stuff to say, but you don't have the courage to say it to their face. I'm so getting high school vibes like that off of this.
Kuwait video she made, like a little mini documentary she made right before I came to Kuwait. I tried looking for this video and I could not find it on her channels. Maybe I'm just tired, I couldn't find it. I don't know if anyone knows where the video is. Just let me know in the comments.
No, no one should let you know. Listen, you're not a react channel, Chantal. You just said that. A, because you suck at reacting. B, because when you're a reaction channel, you do your homework. Many reaction channels are all around digging around looking for clips to put together into storyboards and documentaries. I mean, there's a lot of research, a lot of homework, and you're lazy. You're not about doing homework and doing research and putting things together. And you're over there asking your audience to come up with things for you. Listen, if you care enough, you'll do the homework yourself. You know, those of us over here on the reaction side, we understood the assignment. You want to talk about Chantal, you got to do your homework, you got to do your research, you got to put things together. We understood the assignment. You're over there trying to take the assignment and give it to somebody else. You know, you want to drag Frenchie for filth, but yet you're not willing to put the work in and dig up things and put clips together and all this stuff. Don't expect your audience to do the work for you, ma'am. Incorrect.
Comments below or something like that. I would really like to watch it again. I remember seeing it and thinking, wow, the first thing I thought as FFG was stumbling for words, struggling to read what was on her screen from the script she wrote.
You want to talk about reading off of a script. You've done that many times. You'll sit there and put on Wikipedia or a page on the internet and then get online and do a live stream and read straight from that page. And we can tell you're doing it because we can see you like looking and reading. Okay. So even if Frenchie is over there reading something off of a page, it's not something you haven't done like a bazillion times.
How bad it was and how it was obvious she was just reading from Wikipedia. So basically,
And
just rewinding a bit, what happened was before I went to Kuwait, FFG felt the need to jump in first and make a little mini documentary educating people, very poorly albeit, on the customs of Kuwait, what Kuwait is like.
girl, you've been there for over a month and you still aren't sure of the customs. And even if you are, you're not being very respectful to them. Anybody who decides to film inside of a mosque, I mean, seriously, how dare you? You're claiming that you want to get closer to Allah, closer to God, which is fine, absolutely fine. But you don't have the respect that you won't keep your camera outside the mosque. You couldn't just go inside the mosque and before you walk in, know what you're doing, know what you're talking about. Because if you don't know what you're doing, know what you're talking about, you have no business being there. Going in there filthy, not cleaning yourself properly, but taking your camera inside of a mosque. Seriously, how much respect are you showing the Muslim people? How much respect are you showing towards their beliefs, their customs? You're not. You're not.
this and that. The creepiness level of that, because going to Kuwait really has nothing to do with your life. So if anybody should be doing this kind of content, is me. I'm the one traveling to Kuwait. I'm the one going to the Middle East. I should be the one to do it. We did see similar behavior, creepy, stalkerish.
How is it creepy and stalkerish? Frenchie's not following her all the way to Kuwait, dogging her every move. How is it creepy and stalkerish? She's just reacting to the videos and the live streams that Foodie is doing, which we all do. Listen, y'all, there's over 60 reaction channels, and there's more popping up by the day. Curious question I've always had. Since there are 60 reaction channels, why is it that Frenchie is the one she goes for the most? Why is she always picking on Frenchie the most when there's like 59 other reaction channels that are covering her too? Why Frenchie? Like, why has she got a big target on her back?
Weird involving yourself in my life kind of behavior with the fashion show, showing up, trying to crash it, and then posting the cover.
Let me correct you on that, Chantal. The fashion show was a public event. It wasn't like a private event that Frenchie crashed. No, it was a public event. It was open to the public. Anybody could have shown up there.
Coverage of the show before I even get to, and it was my event. So FFG.
Oh, so that's it. Y'all, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Chantal still got a chip on her shoulder from Frenchie showing up at the fashion show, number one. And number two, because after the fashion show was over, as I understand it, Frenchie did not immediately put up her footage. She waited, and Chantal was the one who did the fashion show and sat on the footage and then got mad because Frenchie posted hers first. So she's got a bone up her nose about that still. Well, that's your fault, Chantal. You had the footage of the fashion show. You chose to go home and get high and go to sleep. And hey, early bird gets the worm.
She did the same thing with this Kuwait documentary she did. I can't find it. I don't know if she was ashamed of it. I would be for sure. It's just very rich coming from you in the title of your newest video, calling me out for sounding like I'm reading from a script when I do my videos on anything historical or anything that has some back.
Well, that's because we know you, Chantal. We know that you're not one that you will do your own research. You're not someone that you put the work and effort into your channel, into your live streams, into your videos. You know, you got a history of asking people, hey, send me stuff, or hey, make some stuff for my memberships. You're always trying to get other people to do the work for you. You're not going to sit down and do some research and take some notes and study your notes and then make a video. No, you're lazy. You'll pull up a web page and read straight from that.
Background information. No, I'm not perfect at it, but clearly from your Kuwait video that sucked and I can't even find now, that you might even be yourself ashamed of. I mean, do you not see the hypocrisy here? No, probably not. Sadly, you and your audience never do. So, just to demonstrate,
You know, why don't you stop paying attention to Frenchie's audience and pay more attention to your own? Seriously, like, why are you so focused on Frenchie and her audience and her page versus your own? That seems to be a problem. Seems to be a big problem, Chantal. You've got your nose everywhere except where it should be. You should be paying attention to your page, your viewers, your members, being concerned about what do they feel when it comes to your content. You know, like, is anybody enjoying it? Are they not enjoying it? If they're not enjoying it, what else can you do? You're not concerned about your own stuff. You're concerned about everybody else's stuff and how many views they're getting and how many memberships they're getting. And Ugh. And you wonder why your views are tanking. I'll give you a slight clue about why things are going down for you because you get online and you'll get in a live stream and you put down people who sends you money. You refer to people that sends you 99 cents as the 99-cent people, and I'm not talking to those 99-cent people. And thanks for your cheap super chat. I mean, it's an attitude like that that puts people off. When the reaction channels, it doesn't matter how much we get in the way of a super chat or super sticker, we always say thank you. We don't come off with that entitlist, snobby attitude, which, by the way, is completely ugly.
A little bit of how creepy, and this is a very little demonstration. Again, this person has been doing this for years.
Wrong. Wrong. She's not been doing it for years because she's not been on YouTube on her channel for years. It's been a little over a year. So what do you mean? What do you mean? You make it sound like she's been on YouTube for 4 or 5 years. She's been on YouTube for a little over a year. It's not been years, Chantal.
And it just never gets any less creepy. And so I'm going to react to an Anna Nicole video, who is a reactor of FFG, and this was taken around the time that I came to Kuwait, so about a month ago. And I gotta say, this reaction of hers of FFGs didn't age well at all because they were, wrong about everything. So let's go through that. It's an 11-minute video. Yella.
On a public platform without proof.
Yeah, you said it, but people do this all the time. They make speculations and think the worst about my situation,
which we're free to do. We're reaction channels. We are free to speculate as much as we want. There's nothing wrong with speculation. And you know what? If Chantal is bothered by speculation, if it really, 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 really bugs her, if she doesn't like it, then she could give us something she's never given us before. She can give us the truth. That's all that people are looking for, is the truth. I mean, it's Chantal's fault. Chantal lies. She lies a lot. If her lips are moving, she's lying. She lies all the time. And because she lies so much, people don't know what the truth is. They can't go to her and get it directly because she doesn't give it. She'll give everything but the truth. She'll lie and lie and lie. And then when she's caught in her lies, she'll deny that she's caught in her lies, and she'll get caught in more lies. So the reaction channels are free to speculate and try to piece things together. We're free to do that.
without any proof whatsoever.
We are still currently watching this whole.
Are you talking about? Let me just give one example. So there was a moment when Chantal was seeing Natter, and she was denying that she was seeing Natter. Y'all remember that little trip to the motel where Natter was cooking out on the grill, and the sign was shown in the video, and then we saw Chantal clear as day in the grill knobs, so it's stuff like that. Chantal should know better. The reaction channels were all about attention to detail, and the devil is in the details. That's where you're gonna get caught if you're a liar. But yet, as many times as Chantal's been caught in lies, she just won't stop lying. She just won't quit.
Story arc unfold, so no one really knows what's going to happen in the future, as Chantal has not exactly spoken about these details publicly at this time. People do sometimes get married right away, and those people sometimes live long distance until they go through proper legal processes.
Look, there are now like 8 billion people in the world. To think that your soulmate is going to be your neighbor is just ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could very well happen, and it might have even happened to you. But I'm just saying, it's not going to be like that for everyone. Long distance relationships are a thing.
These are very
Listen, shut up, Chantal. I'm not ready for you. Um, I will say that I was involved in a long distance relationship with my second husband. I lived in Florida. He lived in California. Before we met, we had many, many conversations. Before we got married, there were many frequent trips of him coming to California, to Florida to see me, and then I would go to California to see him. And then after a while, we got married. And then I moved to California to be with him. There are many people across the world that do long distance relationships, but never, never did I ever get involved in a long distance relationship. And before even meeting that person in person, get married. That's just ridiculous. That's stupid, 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 stupid. I talked to my husband. We got to know each other before we got married. And even then there was much talk about marriage. You hear Chantal. She finds a much younger man in another country. And before they've met even once, they're talking about marriage and I'm with this person. Yeah.
serious accusations she's allegedly conspiracy, whatever, making. Especially after the threat she made about having a phone conversation with someone from Canadian immigration on a previous stream because Foodie Beauty came for her dogs. Her words.
See, it's crazy to me that people won't hesitate to call me out on every little thing I do in my life, good or bad. It's all bad to most people. But don't keep that same energy when this psycho calls immigration on me. I hope they hung up on your ass.
Anyways, let's watch.
Ooh, Chantal, you said a bad word and you're claiming to be closer to God and you're still cursing. Shame on you.
The post. Let's take a look at the top of that pic. There's definitely some like crop.
Okay, so wait a minute. It's your birthday and you're analyzing a potential stock photo. Well, it's actually a real photo of me living my life and judging me. Why isn't anyone taking you out for cake? What the hell?
Who are you to tell anybody how they should spend their birthday, Chantal? Hmm?
I feel so bad for you. Anyway, happy belated.
Croppage going on here. What is the white at the top of this pic? I don't know. Somebody posted in the Discord earlier this pic with what I'm no NASA member.
Well, I remember when Chantal posted this picture, there was a lot of speculation that it was a stock photo, especially with the white line at the top. That's what I thought, that the picture looked too perfect. You know, again, this goes back to Chantal being a great big liar. Like, she said she was going to go to Kuwait. We didn't know if she really was or if she was just pulling a deep fake. Nobody knew. When you're dealing with somebody who's a habitual liar, who lies about things that they don't have to, you have to examine everything. That's a sad truth. You have to examine everything they say because they are not a truthful person.
But
Oh, wait, so you're admitting you're not a NASA member? What does that even mean? I'm assuming you're admitting that you're not that bright, which I don't know, but just based on how you talk, yeah, I can believe it. Which is also apparent in that horrible Kuwait documentary you made, Frenchie Attenborough. I really wish I can find that video.
this pic with like I think is like a reverse search or whatever. You reverse the image search, whatever the fuck. I'm sorry. And it came up as like something. Hold on. Something. I'm such a dick. Discord closed. I had it ready. Back. Hold on. Scrolling back. Scrolling back.
How pathetic is it that you have a whole Discord and material sources saved and all kinds of research you have to go get just on this little picture I posted? One community post picture, and you are all circling it like vultures and picking at it like vultures, I might add.
That's because you're a liar and you're not above using stock photos and whatever else to try to lie to people. That's why.
Where is it? There. Okay. It came up as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and then some, I don't know what that writing is, maybe Russian after it. That picture with that tone, like that exact picture.
Huh, interesting. Frenchie just said something that just kind of rang a bell with me. So isn't it interesting that that came up as flight simulator, and yet didn't Chantal confess recently that she likes watching flight simulator programs and stuff? Yeah, that's why it rang a bell.
Sure. The colors looking the way they do and stuff. I don't know. I can't verify that. I don't know shit about this shit.
All right, so I'm gonna just for the record, I never answered this. Jay Frankie sent $5 to say happy B-Day. Also, it's a cropped pic. There's white at the top. Exactly, it's
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'm like, that's why it looked funny to me.
cropped. So I cropped it. I actually put it on a white background in order to add that picture on top, and I tried to get rid of as much white as possible. But eagle eyes here have noticed it. So you guys basically circled for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours over this picture on all speculation.
But it was posted.
And why are you so bothered by that?
Like it was posted in the Discord. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. Is she lying? Did she just not bother taking a picture, but she wanted to post a picture and was like, shit, I didn't take a picture. So she just posted that up?
Here's what I find so amusing and disturbing about you. You sound so excited, like a kid in a candy store, when you come up with your weird theories. But no, FFG, you're wrong as usual. And that was taken from the plane. Yeah, I left my house and got on a plane while you sit there and judge my adventure.
So I mean, I'm just curious, Chantal. Just curious question. If that's a snapshot from the plane, okay, but why crop it? Who takes the time to crop a picture from an airplane while you're in mid-flight?
Nice.
Had she already landed? Is she trying to be couth about this whole thing? So you know what I mean? No, she's not couth. What am I?
All right, so couth in this dictionary definition, good manners, refinement. He has no couth, no brains, and doesn't know the meaning of the word diploma.
Oh, are you trying to play teacher right here and teach us about the word couth? Well, let me teach you about the word couth. You going into a mosque with your camera and filming everything, a sacred space that people use to pray, you have no couth. You have no manners. You have no sense. So you want to talk about couth, Chantal? You better practice what you preach before you put it out to the choir, dear.
Diplomacy. Yeah, sounds like you. So it's, again, very rich from you saying I am uncouth. I don't sit for hours cackling like a witch and using the F word and saying bitch every other word.
Oh, yes, you do. You just did it in Canada. You can't do it in Kuwait. Guaranteed, if things were different in Kuwait and you could swear and curse and all that, you'd be doing just that. But you know, you have to watch yourself where you are. You can't say the things you normally say. You can't act the way you normally act. But we're going to see the real you when you go home to Canada, aren't we? Yeah, we are.
To describe somebody. I mean, how couth are you being when you use a juvenile, constructed insult such as ham salad, a combination of fat shaming and racism? Nice. I mean,
The word salad is not racist.
As someone who spends so much time of their free time judging my relationship, saying that it's fake.
It is fake. There, I said it.
Yours is totally imaginary. I'm still waiting for proof of life on this boyfriend of yours. Considering how you literally go live.
You know what, Chantal? I'm so sick of you saying that. I am so sick of it. Just because you like to find men and put them on camera, and whatever relationship you may have with them, whether it's a lover or a friend or a close relationship, you want to take that relationship and exploit the hell out of it. Some people don't do that. Some people want involved in relationships and they don't want to exploit their partner or their friends. They have more respect for those people. They want to leave them off camera where their privacy is protected. But you're all about exploiting anything and everything you can for views. It's all about views. It's all about getting more views. It's all about continuing views on your channel. You'll exploit anything and anyone that gets within 5 feet of you. But some people just don't have that point of view.
And snatch my content to react, quote unquote, to it. I can't imagine you living a fulfilling life, spending time with this boyfriend of yours. I mean, what do you do in the middle of a date or in the middle of dinner or having alone time with your boyfriend? When you
Miss Nosy Busybody over there worrying about FFG and her man and how they spend their time. Look at you. You're in Kuwait and you're with your new husband, right? You guys barely know each other and you got to go home in a month. You should be spending every waking moment with Salah knowing you have to leave him soon. What are you doing? You spend all of your time making little vlogs and videos that nobody's interested in, boring everybody to death. That's where your focus is. React, imagine, just imagine being in Kuwait with a new husband. And instead of focusing on your man and your relationship while you're in Kuwait, you're still focused on FFG. Really now. That just says you're so much in love.
hear my notification, do you say, "Sorry, honey, I have to go. Foodie Beauty's live." I really just, I don't get it. All I'm saying is for someone who's in such a happy relationship and has a full-time job, you do have a lot of time on your hands to stream snipe me, no matter when and where I go live.
You're just mad because she gets more views than you do, and she gets more people in her room than you do. It's not so much about Frenchie talking about you. It's the fact that financially speaking, she's in a better place. And you know why she's in a better place, Chantal? Because she's doing what you should have done long ago. She had her main channel, then she's got her second channel. I believe there's also a third channel, although I'm not sure. She's got Twitch, and she's putting the work into all of them. And the money she's making, she's not spending on drugs or alcohol or copious amounts of food or wasting it away. She's doing smart things with it. You're mad because she's doing what you should have done long ago and profiting. It's not her fault you're an idiot and you made all that money and you've got nothing to show for it. It's not her fault at all. That was you. That was your choice.
It's just amazing the lengths she will go to for D. I mean, love. Yeah, Rebecca, that's exactly. She'll do anything for a man. She will go to the other side of the world, literally.
No, you totally don't sound bitter and jealous here, FFG.
What? I'm so sick of that word from Foodie, jealous. Foodie, how would she or anyone else be jealous of you? I have yet to hear you say why anyone would be jealous of you. What exactly are we jealous of? What would we be jealous of? You're in a different country. Anybody could fly to a different country. Anybody. Anybody that wants to go anywhere could fly anywhere they wanted. Could it be because you're making money on YouTube? Well, anybody could make money on YouTube. Anybody could do it. Anything you have, anybody else could also have. Nobody's jealous of you. that you saying that we're jealous, that is your defense. That's your way of convincing yourself that you're better than everybody else. And oh, they're talking about me because they must be jealous. There's nothing to be jealous of. You have very poor health, very limited mobility. You're the one over there that has to pay men for companionship. What exactly are we jealous of? Even now, currently, your content is all about you're eating on camera. You know, the way you make money is by hurting yourself on camera. You're a binge eater, and whenever you binge eat on camera, you're committing self-harm content. You're hurting yourself. And you are 500 pounds, and you should be focused on your health and losing weight and getting better, but you're not. No one would trade places with you. Nobody. All you have is money. It's all you got. Everything else around you is a mess. It's all you've got going for you is that paycheck from YouTube. But everything else in your life is a mess. So there's really nothing to be jealous of.
Not at all. It's textbook that people who act like this are totally jealous. Totally jealous. There's no boyfriend, is there? And no, I won't travel across the world for a man. I will travel across the world to marry the love of my life, Salah. Of course I will.
You can't call him the love of your life when you don't even know him. And he doesn't know you. How can that be the love of your life if neither one of you know each other? And he can't stand you. Everybody can see it. He can't stand you. And I'm sure he can't wait for you to get your butt back on the plane and go home to Canada.
Any day. I would do it a million times over. And I will do it over and over as much as I have to. How a sad chain smoker from Montreal has any authority or any insight on my life is beyond me.
Not this one criticizing Frenchie for being a chain smoker when she was back in Canada and she just kept lighting up all day, lighting up the green all day, getting high all day.
This extremely thought-provoking comment from Kate McGape for $1.99. Big spender.
Oh, there we go. There it is. There it is, y'all. See what she just did there? See what she just did? Talking crappy about somebody who's in Frenchie's chat who sent her $1.99. So this person's not even sending her $1.99, and she's being a rude bitch. Rude. They're just sending $1.99. Yeah, and they are. They're sending $1.99 to Frenchie, not to you. See, I don't understand you, Chantal. You're over there, your views are horrible. Your views are tanking. You're obviously hurting for money so bad that you create a cheap tier just to try to get more money in the door. And yet, when people give you money, no matter what the amount, you should say thank you. If you're hurting for money that bad, you should say thank you to everyone and be grateful that people are still giving you money, because to be honest, you're not earning it. You're not earning your money. Getting on camera and eating a meal is not earning money. That's lazy content, extremely lazy. But I don't know what's with you that you think that you can put down people who send $1.99. You're such a moron. You just don't get it. You just have no business sense. Let me clue you in. Sometimes people will come in and they'll send $1.99. But if they like you, they might come back and send another $1.99 or more than that. That's completely their choice. But that's why it's never a good idea to crap on people who'll give you a small super chat. Because A, they're your viewers. You shouldn't crap on them anyway. You should be grateful and thankful to people that watch your videos, watch your live streams. You should say thank you to those people because they are part of your channel. They're what makes it flourish. A view is a view. A super chat is a super chat. Be thankful. But somebody might come in and give $1.99 one day and then a month later come back and give even more than that. But if you treat them like crap, if they give a low super chat, Promise you they won't be back to send you more, idiot.
Happy birthday. Destroy her. Wow. Nice birthday gift. $1.99. Anyway, destroy her. Yeah, this is very indicative of your audience, FFG. Everyone only circle jerks and hates.
By the way, I think it's offensive that you're over there wearing the abaya. Like you're claiming to be closer to God, and yet you're using gross sexual terms that's actually coming out of your mouth while you're wearing the abaya. Ew, gross, Chantal.
In your comments. And that's about it. They all congregate to hate on me for whatever reason. I don't know. Everybody, including yourself, likes to project. So I guess that's what's going on here. But to be so gleeful about destroying somebody is actually really, really disturbing.
More about marriages of convenience and what the Canadian government.
Well, Chantal, in those times when you were going off about FFG, I've seen people in your chat that were encouraging you to go further and to say more offensive stuff. So there it is.
Says about said marriages of convenience. A marriage of convenience is a marriage contracted for reasons other than love, such as marriage is entered into for personal gain or some other sort of strategic purpose.
Oh, and before Chantal says anything, there is a thing over in the Middle East called a muta marriage. I don't know if that's what Chantal is involved in. I don't know if she's really married to Salah. She may not be married to him at all and just role playing. But there is such a thing as something called a muta marriage. So it's not a real marriage, it's a marriage convenience. And when one or both parties decide it's over, they just say, hey, we're done here and be done, and they go their separate ways.
More bitter jealousy, more bitter jealousy. Who even said anything about a marriage? What kind of research are you doing? I never heard this term until I just watched your stream. It's ridiculous. Marriage of convenience? What? Where's your proof of this? You're just pulling this out of your flat. I mean, I. How do you know we're not. We. What? Ah.
Honestly, I think that's what I think it is. That her and Salah have some kind of agreement going. I'm not quite sure what the agreement is, but it doesn't feel permanent to me. If Salah was around Chantal, and you could tell he's deeply enthralled with her, he adores her, I would feel differently. But I don't get that energy from him. I really don't. I don't get that energy of a man who's deeply in love with his wife and adores her. And they just allegedly got married, so that energy should be there and then some, especially in the honeymoon phase. And I'm just not getting it from Salah.
Anyway, my brain hurts, but this didn't age well, did it? Because there's no even mention that we're even going to Canada. Actually, I'm coming back to Kuwait. And we totally married for love. I know that makes you angry and it makes you seethe, but as I always say, stay mad.
There are some
The irony of her saying stay mad, and yet she's the only one who is mad. Nobody else is mad. Frenchie's not mad at her relationship. I'm not mad at her relationship. Nobody's mad at her relationship. The only one who's mad is Chantal.
some cases in which those married do not intend to live together as a couple and typically got married only for one of them to gain the right to reside in a country.
All right, here's the thing, female Danny DeVito. Even
I don't put anybody down, she says. I'm not an ugly person, she says, and yet she's insulting the way that Frenchie looks.
if I wanted to marry somebody for convenience, it has zero impact on your life and is absolutely 100% none of your business. But the fact that you're doing so much research with all of all of it being for speculation is
Okay, let me just say something here. Maybe the reason, if Frenchie is reading from, say, Wikipedia on this stuff, is because Chantal is over in the Middle East. And things are different there than, say, Canada or the United States. And there are different practices there, different customs. And a lot of us that are reactors, we're not familiar with those. So we have to do our homework. We got to do our research. We got to do our reading because it's not the norm. So what's wrong with doing homework and reading from pages, Chantal? When you're dealing with something you don't understand and you just simply want to be more informed about it.
Creepy. You don't think that you're being a little invasive? Nah? Alright.
I'm reading a note.
You made a note. Did you write it by hand? Cursive? Punctuation?
You should try taking notes sometimes, Chantal.
Syntax? All there?
A couple may wed for one of them to gain citizenship. For example, as many countries will grant such rights to anyone married to a resident citizen. Because they exploit legal loopholes, sham marriages or marriages of convenience often have legal consequences. Now, Canadian, she's doing this in Canada. Here's what the Canadian government has to say about marriages of convenience, okay? And what can happen to a Canadian who involves themselves in a marriage of convenience or the person who comes here based off of a marriage of convenience, okay?
See, all the Frenchie's doing is just reading this information because it's not just the reactors that want to be informed, it's the viewers. The viewers want to understand also. We're all just looking to understand things that we don't right off the bat understand. If it's involving another country and different customs and things that might be going on there, we got to look stuff up and we got to explain things to people because everybody might get confused.
So don't be tempted by offers of money or other rewards to marry a person just so they can immigrate to Canada. If you do this, you may face serious criminal charges. You also still have to meet the terms of the sponsorship.
Oh, well, it's a good thing that I'm not marrying for convenience then. Huh, dodo brain. Oh my god, I haven't used that since elementary school. Felt good. But on another note, doesn't FFG remind you of the big bad bully from Pee-wee's Big Adventure? I want your bike, Pee-wee.
And of course, she's going to fast forward through all of this because it talks about the marriage and all that, and she just doesn't want to address it.
Okay. That's from the government. So.
Wow, such riveting content. You criticize me for my content, but your audience is perfectly entertained by you bringing up a few pages from the Canadian government website to read to them poorly and annoyingly because your voice is like nails on a chalkboard.
Then why do you keep listening to her? Why do you pay so much attention to her? Why do you lurk in her live streams? Why do you up her button around the corner with everything she does? If she's so incredibly boring, Chantal, why are you paying so much attention to Frenchie?
But yes, that's riveting content.
Well, let me just tell you about riveting content, Chantal. You going to Kuwait and doing the exact same content that you did when you were back in Canada, that's not exactly riveting. You sitting down and eating. Every live stream you're eating, you're shoving something in your mouth. That's not exactly riveting either. You make it sound as if you give riveting content, interesting content. You don't. You do lazy non-content. You do as little as possible to get people interested and engaged. You don't even try to talk to people. You just sit there eating and shoving your mouth full of food.
Completely invasive creep on speculation.
I don't know. Again, this is all allegedly conspiracy, whatever, but it's the vibe that I've got from the beginning. And the longer that's so hard to prove, though, dear, in her case, it's actually not that hard to prove. They haven't known each other that long.
Nope.
Your conspiracies are always bull, and that's my point. They're all
You don't have to listen. You keep listening. If you think her conspiracies are BS, you don't have to listen. Nobody invited you to listen.
always BS, and people just eat it up. And it's really sad to see someone who was formerly a supporter like Rusty Spoons.
Oh, here we go. Oh, so you're trying to shame one of your former supporters because now they're over there in FFG's chat as the girl gang, and now they're sending her a super chat. Maybe Rusty Spoons is somebody that sent you a super chat, a cheap one, and you put them down. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to go and hang out with the girl gang because I can talk freely. I don't have to spend $5 to talk to the reactor. And I can give my money, whatever the amount, and I won't be spit on because of it.
Believe this crap, and it's just insane to me. But whatever, if you want to support somebody vile who's infertility shamed me over and over, that's on you. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've had to have a total hysterectomy due to some large ovarian cysts that were worrying my um, gynecologist, oncologist. So this was FFG's wonderful response. And this is the kind of people that have left my community to come and support this kind of behavior. But I'm the vile one.
Just like, for example, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed, but I never take jabs at the fact that Chantal can't have kids. Never. Next time I need tampons just to be a dick, I'm gonna go and buy the box of them, put it up on the community tag and tag Foodie Beauty and be like, jealous? Yeah, that's right. I said it and I will fucking do it. Fuck her.
Actually, no, I'm not jealous. I actually don't miss my period. Would I love to be able to have children? Yes. But the fact that you infertility shame in any way and blame somebody for having precancerous cells or having health problems in any way, regardless if they're fat, regardless of their medical history, is actually pretty disgusting. That would be like you getting lung cancer from smoking so much and people having zero sympathy for you and saying, oh, well, you deserve it. Go die. That is more vile than anything I've ever said about your dogs, even though you talk about my cat ownership over and over and over.
I'll talk about your cat ownership over and over. You are a suck ass cat owner. You don't deserve to have your cats. You don't need to have your cats. You don't want to take care of them. You're too busy running all over the place after D that you don't even have access to. There, I said it. You suck as a cat parent. You suck as a pet parent, period. You've entered that stage in life where you don't care about your pets. You care about being obsessed with having a man and having a man claim you to the point where you'll sit there and put another man's last name on your channel because you've been screaming and yelling for the longest for a man to claim you, but rather than wait for a man to claim you, you're going to try to claim them by taking their last name and putting it on your channel.
It's really, really gross. Keep that same energy, guys. Keep that same energy. Also, you moron, you can't give yourself infertility. That's just another speculation. And I know I also said that I felt like I could have done things to make myself healthier while I was struggling with an eating disorder and mental health issues. I thought that I could magically make these cysts disappear on their own, even though they were like 16 centimeters big. And the gynecologist, oncologist actually told me that they don't think in their, with their expertise and opinion, that it would be possible for me to shrink them. But I did see some holistic methods online and from other people's testimonies that have cured their ovarian cysts, but these were more small. They were smaller cysts and they were not the same kind as mine. So I was under the impression at that time that I would be able to do something, maybe in denial about the fact that I would have to have a hysterectomy, even though I would say to myself over and over that I didn't care if I would become infertile as a result. At the time, I didn't want children. I didn't think that I would ever want children or a family. and things have changed, and that's why the doctor was so concerned at first, knowing that I was young and maybe want a family in the future. And they were right.
Okay, you know what, Chantal? I'm sorry you cannot have children. I'm sorry you had a hysterectomy. But even way after the fact of having your hysterectomy, you've made the comment you don't like kids. You can't stand kids. And the only times that you've talked about wanting kids is when it relates to a man. And if they want children, then all of a sudden you're talking as if you want children. It all relates to a man. It's not something you want for yourself because you yourself want children. It has to do with being around a man. And if they've expressed the desire to have children, suddenly that's when you want to have children. But you've said many times over, you don't like kids. You don't like them.
And I guess, as FFG always likes to say, it is what it is. But this behavior is just unacceptable in every way. So the oncologist's recommendation, they were urging me to get the surgery. They didn't think that I would be able to cure anything. Actually, they looked at me like I had 3 heads, or 5 eyes, something strange when I would tell them that I wanted to try juice fasting in order to shrink the cysts. And honestly, it's just not something I was ever able to do because I was struggling with my eating disorder. So
I'm not a doctor. I don't know about things medically, but I'm just trying to understand what an eating disorder has to do with cyst on our ovaries. Like, how are the two related?
there were a lot of things going on, and I ended up needing the surgery, which did render me infertile.
Funny about it. I want to knock her out right now so bad. Oh my God. Girl, shut the fuck up, okay? You're infertile because you let yourself become infertile. And I am standing by what I said there. She let herself become infertile. There, I said a month is not long enough. Well, see, I've mentioned before the thing about that interview they'll have with the Canadian government. It's inevitable. Like, you have to have that interview, okay? They are trained to look for this kind of shit.
This is true.
It's going to be so many red flags. Like their spidey senses will also be going up. What do you mean you only spoke for 2 weeks before marrying?
Do you work for immigration? Do you work for the government?
I got a bit of experience with that just because of my second husband, who was from Mexico City. All right, and he was going for his green card, so we had to go through interviews and whatnot for him to do so. But yeah, they are trained for that. They are trained to look for things that don't feel right, don't smell right. You go for the interview, they're looking for wedding photos, they're looking to see what's going on between the couple, because they are aware that some people are just trying to game the system. So Frenchie's not lying. They do look for that.
You know nothing. You know nothing. So, because somebody has some financial issues, maybe pull up the information from the website that states also. If you're going to do research, at least do good research, right?
Beyond the finances, let's put that aside for a minute. If Sala and Chantal did go for an interview, they're going to look at her, they're going to look at him. They're going to see him as he's 29 years old and she's almost 40. And that's going to raise a red flag. Right from the get-go, they're going to raise a red flag. Like, what is this much younger man see in this much older woman? Red flag. And then if they go to talk to them both and then see the way they interact with each other, the fact that feeling of two people who love each other, it's not there. That's going to raise another red flag.
Especially if you're going to come for me and accuse me of reading from WikiLive or Wikipedia, At least do your research. You always talk about me being in an active bankruptcy. The minute you're discharged, you're eligible to sponsor somebody if that's what we wanted to do. And it's not. And even if it was, it's none of your business.
him. What do you mean you never wore a hijab before you spoke to him like after a week? What do you mean you never had intentions to marry someone on the other side of the world? They can do home visits. There's all kinds of shit that they can do.
Yep.
When their spidey senses are alerted.
You are so creepy.
You know, it's easy
and
sometimes to slip through, but once the thing, like the alarms are going off, they're like a gnat on your ass.
Yep. Oof.
Speaking of gnats on my you are exactly that.
Chantal, I don't know if you're wearing the abaya right now, but you really need to watch your language. If you're going to be closer to God, closer to Allah, you really should learn to watch your language.
You have 2 channels solely dedicated to cutting down everything I do.
Why is it every time I react to Chantal and she's talking about Frenchie, she always makes sure to bring up how many channels Frenchie has? Chantal, why are you pocket watching her so hard? You're over there, you're supposed to be a huge success, right? You know, queen of the world. I've got a 90K channel. Why are you pocket watching Frenchie? Why are you pocket watching her so hard?
One of your thumbnails here says Jesus Christ, not again. Well, you know what, FFG? You're free to not watch me.
And you're free to not watch her. Why don't you?
For somebody who's so bothered, you're
the one that's bothered. You're pocket watching Frenchie. You're the one that's bothered.
so involved and obsessed, and it's weird and it's creepy. And really, you need to get a life, hop on a plane, go across the world, and meet someone who will touch you. Anyways, guys.
You you met someone he doesn't want to touch you. You flew all the way to Kuwait because you saw Salah. He's a decent looking dude. And you wanted to live out your fantasy of being married to a decent looking Middle Eastern guy. What you're doing is role playing. You're living out your fantasies, Chantal. But I'm sure you're extremely frustrated that he doesn't want anything to do with you physically. He doesn't want to touch you, even with your clothes on. He doesn't want to hold your hand. He doesn't want to be anywhere near you. He's doing only what he has to do and no more. You're so frustrated by that because you flew all that way and you're not being intimate with the dude. And we know this because if you were being intimate with him, we'd be hearing all about it. You'd be so much happier, and you're not.
Guys, thanks for listening. And I guess maybe I'll do some other reactions if I feel like it.
What? Don't. You suck at it.
I just like to express myself, just like everyone else. I feel like I have the right, especially to defend myself. I've been taking this crap from people basically for years, and people have been profiting off of misinformation and
Oh, there we go. See, another key bullet point. People have been profiting off it for years. So if the reaction channels were reacting and we weren't making money off of it, she wouldn't care. She wouldn't care. She cares about the money. She's concerned about the money. That's what bothers her the most, not about the things that we say about her. Oh no. No, it's about the money. The fact that there's so many reaction channels and some of them are doing extremely well, better than her, and that burns her big behind. If it were simply a case of we're saying it for free and we're not profiting at all, she wouldn't give a flip. She cares because about the money.
total BS like this. And sometimes I'm in the mood to call it out. So, anyways, I can do it without using the F word every minute.
No, you were just cursing in this video when you shouldn't have been.
So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. A lot of you probably won't, but anyways, if you do, thumbs up and I will.
So that's it for Chantal's video. I want to go ahead and react to it because knowing Chantal, she's going to get rid of this. I promise you it's not going to stay up on her channel for long, maybe a day or two. So I'm getting it before she gets rid of it. And by the way, Chantal, little something about that. Whenever you delete a live stream or you delete a video, all you're doing is making more valuable real estate for those of us that are reactors. You're just increasing the value. You know that, right? Like anytime you delete a video or a live stream and people can't watch it on your channel, they go straight to the reaction channel. So more valuable real estate. So I hope you do that with this one. And if you do, I love that for you. So hope you guys have enjoyed this react video. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching this with me tonight and have a good one. Bye-bye.